What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is the Desert Storm, the next part of it, which is the Ground War Day 2 Iraqi Counterattack. The last one we watched was intense, wasn't it?
It was.
With the pilot going in, actually hearing the real footage of like just the intenseness of war and how scary it actually can be. This one's going back, I'm assuming it's a 15-minute video, back into the whole offensive, like, do you have a map above showing the offences and stuff like that, and the advances, I should say, not offences. But then going over, you know what I mean? Smash like if you enjoy the content, guys. Smash that subscribe button as well. We're enjoying these Desert Storms, aren't we? Very, very detailed. And there's still quite a few of them to go. So we're trying to bring them out quite regularly, aren't we? If I look super tired, by the way, I have done a half marathon today with pretty much no training. So I might be a bit tired.
I'm pregnant, so.
I'm pregnant, so it is what it is. It may not be the most energetic reaction today, but we will try our best because we enjoy doing this. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's get into it. The Ground War Day 2 Iraqi Counterattack. What we got? The link to this channel will be in the description below. But wait till after the video if you can check them out.
What he said.
General Norman Schwarzkopf returns to the war room in Riyadh at 4 AM on Monday the 25th of February 1991, G+1, after a few hours sleep. He observes the large war map showing the live dispositions of his forces. Nearly all Iraqi divisions on the front line, mostly made up of conscripts, have been annihilated. The 240 Abrams tanks of the 24th Infantry Division of 18 Corps have marauded across the border and aggressively penetrated 80 miles into Iraq.
Okay. There's not been many losses either.
After slow progress securing objective Rochambeau on day 1, the French Daguet is preparing to launch its assault on their objective at As Salman Crossroads and Airfield. After their daring helicopter assault behind enemy lines on day 1, the legendary and respected 101st Airborne have progressed the construction of their forward operating base at Objective Cobra and prepare to launch a new advance to take and cut off Highway 8 in the Euphrates Valley.
They're definitely making a lot of progress, aren't
Highway
they?
8 is not only Saddam Hussein's main supply line to his forces in Kuwait, but also controlling the road will allow the 101st to destroy any Iraqi military vehicles in retreat. The US Marines and Arab forces in the east continue their excellent progress towards Kuwait City. Marine helicopters perform mock attack runs towards the coastline at Faylaka Island.
Mock attack
This is a feint and gives a portion of Iraqi troops the false impression that an amphibious assault could be incoming, keeping some of their...
I tell you what, stuff like that is what you don't think about.
No, yeah.
The little, like, it's like a game of chess, isn't it? The little chess. All right, let's just, you know, a bit of decoy. Take the bait and then we'll go attack this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't think about it, do you?
No, you don't.
Focused in the wrong direction. As well as the liberation of Kuwait, the other coalition war goal is to destroy the Iraqi Republican Guard, neutralizing it as a potent force for years to come. For this reason, the heavy armoured divisions of 7 Corps need to be making fast progress north to cut off any divisions that try to escape Kuwait.
Okay.
The difference in progress between the left and right flanks and 7 Corps in the centre is vast.
Well, it's defended more than right.
Schwarzkopf demands to know why they're so slow. In reality, the 24th Infantry Division of 18 Corps has met minimal resistance in their march northwards, whereas 7 Corps had to breach the defences of the Saddam line. The logistical pressure placed on 7 Corps by moving the main assault forward by 15 hours on day 1 has been significant, and so logistical chains can't reasonably be expected to be at full efficiency.
Makes sense.
Some in Schwarzkopf's circle of staff officers believe that he knows more than he lets on, and is simply exaggerating for effect to light a fire under his generals.
That kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make sense.
It doesn't always work nowadays, but I think in the heat of war...
Yeah, and especially back then as well.
Back then as well, you're thinking, oh, not that they are letting the country down, but you think, oh, I might be letting my country down because we're taking too slow, and you're trying to like, right, let's get this moving, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's not reality, but it kind of gets, like you said, for fire under people.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work in today's management nowadays with people, but I get it.
But back then, it makes sense.
Definitely.
Takes place on the western flank of 7 Corps. The 1st and 3rd Armoured Divisions are manoeuvring across the desert to catch up with the 2nd Armoured Cavalry Regiment already in Iraq. They hope to reach the supply depot at Al-Bashaya later on, before dark. 1st Armoured's Divisional MLRS battery covers the massive Abrams tanks as they roll forward. The conscripts of the Iraqi 806th Infantry Brigade are the unfortunate souls to be the first unit in their way. The display of firepower brought against them is short but very violent. Like the other conscripts on the front line, Their resistance to the tank assault is minimal, and they surrender as soon as possible. The 1st Infantry Division advanced beyond the remnants of the Saddam line to clear the area beyond of Iraqi units.
Okay.
Once they're happy that the area is clear, they begin to guide the British 1st Armoured Division through the breach at 10 AM. The plan is to line up the divisions of 7 and 18 Corps in an echelon right formation, stretching from the Kuwaiti border to Highway 8, and then wheel the 2 corps in a right turn to hit the Republican Guard armoured divisions en masse.
Okay.
The 2 groups of the French Daguet are continuing their cautious advance north. Group East advance up the main road towards As Salman. Group West approach an area of land west of As Salman airfield. At 9:30 AM, French Gazelles of the 3rd RHC attack a few scattered Iraqi armoured vehicles with anti-tank missiles and fire short bursts of 20mm cannon fire near trenches.
Okay.
Again, the defending Iraqis have no desire to fight, and this is enough for them to surrender.
A lot of surrender.
The Gazelles continue to hammer bunkers. A short artillery burst covers the French tanks moving unopposed into the objective. An Iraqi with his arms aloft holds out a surrender leaflet dropped on his troops days earlier, furious that his comrades had to endure an hour of artillery and helicopter attack before being given the opportunity to surrender.
I think we were just trying to be on the safe side.
A company of Iraqi T-55 tanks. 2 Gazelles and an A-10 batter the column, destroying half of the 15 vehicles, and French tanks roll forward to finish them off.
Before all of them come along.
Given the hopeless...
You know you've got no
Do you really need all them tanks if you've got 2 that have taken half of them out?
Exactly, but it's like, oh, helicopter's gone. Look up, it's like, oh my days, oh my days.
Of their situation. Nearby Iraqi infantry show courage standing up to the French tanks, firing RPGs at close range. However, they are eventually overcome by machine gun fire from the tanks. Group East continue moving north. Simultaneously in Kuwait, the Arab forces of Joint Forces Command East are moving up the coastal road.
Okay.
They're about 12 miles southeast of the northernmost US Marine elements. The commander of Task Force Papa Bear of the 1st Marine Division believes that a series of overground pipelines and sabotage burning oil wells to their east are enough to deter an enemy attack to their flank.
Okay.
They're wrong. Thick morning fog covers the advance of a recon unit of T-55s against Papa Bear's command post.
No.
Nobody spots them break through the fog, and the Iraqi tanks open fire into the command post tent.
Oh, that's not good.
Miraculously, nobody inside is hit.
Wow.
Chaos erupts as Marines return fire with anti-tank weapons and small arms fire. Had the Iraqis taken advantage of the chaos and continued to press their attack, they could very realistically have overrun the command post. An American corporal bravely charges at the tanks on foot and destroys a T-55 with a shoulder-launched AT-4.
Oh, wow.
As the fog begins to lift, it's clear that a significant counterattack is in motion. 8 miles north, Iraqi artillery zeroes in on the 1st Marine Division.
They're coming properly in, aren't they?
There's
quite a few from them. And again, it does just show though how dominant the US is, because even when the Iraqis have had a chance, they've just not wasted it fully, but it's like, that's it.
They've had a chance, but they've not really gained anything, have they?
Yeah, they've not been high level for the US and the other countries as well to be able to make it effective so far. But it looks a bit dodgy. There's quite a lot coming in now.
Yeah, I wonder if the US
forward
are
command
expecting
post.
it.
Yeah.
Likely using radio direction finding equipment to lock onto and home in on the command post radio antennae farm. This post is currently hosting the 1st Marine Division commander, Major General Mayat. Iraqi BMP armoured personnel carriers open fire through the mist from a tree line to the east. Infantrymen disembark and small arms fire and anti-tank missiles streak into the Marine encampment. The Iraqi force is brigade strength and is now just a few hundred metres away. 7 Marine LAV armoured personnel carriers and 40 infantrymen respond, forming a line and returning fire with small arms and anti-tank missiles, and the LAV's 25mm cannon. Realising the seriousness of their situation, the Marines request all available nearby Cobra attack helicopters to beat back the enemy line.
Yeah, they need backup, don't they?
The Iraqi troops are too close for Marine artillery support. The first of the responding Cobras scream in and hammer the enemy line with cannon and rocket fire.
Wow.
Seeing the Cobras, Captain Stephen Ray, commanding the LAV platoon, orders an aggressive counterattack against the larger Iraqi force.
Oh, wow.
They roll forward, stopping only to reload their 25mm cannon with fresh belts of 600 rounds.
That must be intense.
Iraqi gunnery is terrible, and they scored no hits on the marauding LAVs.
I mean, obviously it's war and it is sad and stuff like that, but they are awful at aiming.
They're not great, are they?
They are so awful. It just shows how much good
Considering
training.
they had like open shots
Exactly.
for so long, really.
It shows how important training is and stuff like that, and how, again,
how well trained
our side and our just trained and stuff like that.
Our
side. Well, we're British part of it as well,
yeah,
and stuff like that. Again, we don't know too much about this war. We're learning about it, and we know it is. We're a little bit jokey on because it can be, obviously, if you serve stuff like it can be a very home hitting.
Time, yeah.
But we honestly, don't know it, and we understand that, and we hope everyone is okay from this. By the way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're not affected. If you are, please watch another reaction. But they're just so bad at aiming, aren't they?
They're not great.
Which is a good thing. They're bad at aiming. But how can you be so
not
bad?
For them, it's not.
Not for them. Not for them.
More Cobras arrive to join the Marines lighting up the tree line. The aggressive move forces the enemy to retreat through the woods. Ray continues the pursuit for a kilometre. Satisfied that the majority of the brigade's vehicles have been destroyed,
Wow.
he shows mercy and allows the last of the disarmed fleeing Iraqis to escape. With 38 vehicles destroyed and 300 Iraqi prisoners of war, Captain Ray
300.
is awarded the Navy Cross, second only to the Medal of Honor for heroism.
Fair play.
Task Force Papa Bear
Actually, just
have
charged
still
in.
60 tanks immediately available to hit back against the attacking Iraqi forces, and with the fog lifted, a large tank battle is in progress. Marine jets and Cobras have been scrambled and pound the enemy vehicles, with M60s and LAVs hammering the inferior Iraqi tanks. Particularly fearsome is a flight of 4 Cobras led by Captain Randy Hammond.
Cobras
They
are
form
OP,
a
aren't
wide
they?
line
they
abreast
seem to be
and
like
fly
legit
northeast at
beasts.
20 knots. Each helicopter begins the assault with 4 TOW missiles, 14 rockets, 4 Hellfire missiles, and 720mm cannon rounds.
Oh, let's just buy all of them.
They
I know,
expend their
just-
entire munitions
Just old Cobras in
Yeah.
there. They are beasts,
Yeah.
aren't they? They're big. Oh.
load in just 10 minutes. Over the next couple of hours, the Marines wipe out 2 enemy brigades, including nearly 100 armoured vehicles.
Wow. 100 armoured vehicles.
The US 1st
Insane.
and 3rd Armoured Divisions are making their way north towards Al-Bashir, sweeping over all resistance. The British 1st Armoured Division is continuing its transition through the safe lanes of the Saddam Line. The 1st Cavalry Division advances into Iraq, skirmishing with Iraqi armour on the right flank. At just after midday, 60 Chinooks of the 101st Airborne from the forward operating base at Objective Cobra arrive at an area of land 27 miles southwest of Highway 8. They don't have the range to reach Highway 8, so each drop 2 Humvees with TOW anti-tank launchers. These vehicles immediately depart northeast towards a rendezvous area near the highway.
They're rapid as well, aren't
Yeah.
In
they
4
look
hours' time, Black Hawks will deliver the main infantry assault force directly to the rendezvous point, where the plan is for the combined force to take the highway together. However, heavy wind and rain has turned the Humvee's route into a muddy bog, and progress is nearly impossible. The French assault on the airfield at As Salman is ready to proceed at 2:30 p.m. First, a squadron of A-10s roll in to drop bombs on the hangars and bunkers. Following them, Gazelles move in to attack vehicles and bunkers with anti-tank weapons. 900 artillery and mortar shells are lobbed into the airfield as the 3 ground assault teams breach the perimeter. Team 1 clears the hangars on the west side of the airfield, Team 2 clear the hangars on the east side, and then the tanks of Team 3 smash through the fence in the centre and clear the buildings on the other side of the runway.
Just straight through.
Yeah.
Destroying a single tank, the Dagay finds the airfield abandoned and begin to clear the area of anti-personnel cluster bomblets dropped on the runway during the air campaign.
Ah, okay. Oh, their
At
own
4:10
bombs what they
p.m.,
dropped, weren't it?
The Black Hawks of the 101st drop their infantry into the muddy bog, a mile south of Highway 8. The mud is almost knee-deep and oozes into the infantryman's boots.
Oh.
Every man displays a gutsy determination, trudging through the mile of thick mud towards the highway,
I must be
carrying
so tired.
120-pound packs. The artillery and Humvees dropped by the Chinooks earlier are delayed. The going is so hard that the second lift of infantrymen is cancelled until the following day.
Wow.
It takes several hours
Again,
to make
that's
the
just-
gruelling march.
You could, like you say, I said it was chess earlier. You've just got this kind of like weird thing here, which is nature, and it's like, yeah, I'm just going to absolutely chuck it down, make it hard. Your terrain's going to be harder, and you just don't know what that's going to do, do you?
insane.
It is mad.
After which the 101st set up roadblocks in 2 places along Highway 8. Mercifully, they meet little resistance. Their first catch is a convoy of 4 trucks. American machine gun fire rips into the lead vehicle and the convoy halts, the drivers running away into the night. With hopes and dreams of a shipment of Scud missiles and tank shells, scouts search the vehicles. They report of a shipment of onions.
Onions.
At 6 p.m,
That's not
one
exciting.
brigade of the British 1st Armoured Division is through the breach and clearing pockets of resistance northeast. They form the southeasternmost point of the Great Echelon, stretching northwest beyond al-Bashir. Bogged down by surrendering Iraqis, the 1st Armoured Division postponed their assault on al-Bashir until tomorrow morning. With orders to find the enemy, but not to become decisively engaged, the 2nd Armoured Cavalry Regiment probes east into the night towards Kuwait. They encounter and skirmish with the Iraqi 50th and 37th Armoured Brigades, screening units for the Tawakalna Republican Guard Division waiting in the darkness. During a confused engagement at night, Iraqi tanks and American friendly fire account for 2 damaged Bradleys and 3 M113 APCs destroyed.
I feel like
Behind them.
the most of the losses we've had in this has been friendly fire and confusion.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because, like, when we heard in that clip, it is so chaotic in this
It
moment,
is.
isn't it? It's simple when it's animated and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they're
but in
moving
real
there.
life, it's different.
Especially back then, technology a little bit worse and stuff like that. It's understandable, but that is where the most of the damage has come, it seems like.
Yeah.
Frag Plan 7 is in motion, and the echelon of divisions make a complex and dangerous wheeling right turn. The manoeuvre is hazardous because excitable and enthusiastic tank crew might mistake vehicles from other friendly divisions around them for enemy units,
Okay.
especially at night through their infrared sights in bad weather. No such fratricide occurs. Each armoured division like a finger clenching into the fist, the mighty punch of steel and fury is about to be unleashed.
Ooh.
Thanks again to our sponsor, Conflict of...
That is the end of it. If you want to check the sponsor out, the link is in the description. As always, it was intense, wasn't it?
These kind of feel like an extra thing to the Band of Brothers because I feel like I just get excited for the next episode to see what's going on.
Yeah, with the Band of Brothers, you actually, like you say, you see me
You're
intense.
seeing it, whereas this is like, I like the fact that this is animated because it makes you understand that on paper.
Definitely, some of the decisions are made. Like in the latest Band of Brothers, which we've done, which is on Patreon, but will be coming out on the movie channel soon, is it goes into a battle and we didn't quite understand the full nuances because we didn't understand what was happening. The rest of it from the other nations,
Yeah.
and it's just chaotic. Which, don't get me wrong, it is amazing, to, like mind-boggling to see, scary, intense.
Yeah.
But this, you actually start understanding, okay, why they're pushing that up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Smash that like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button, and watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
And we will see you, legends, in the next one. Peace.